We recently got contacted by the French embassy to document the commissioning of the plastic waste processing microplant that they were commissioning in the University of Lagos. For this event, we're supposed to document it both in photography and videography. The first step for a project like this is, since it was supposed to be at a particular location, is a plant, and we have not been there before, I've not seen how it looks like. First thing we typically do is we go for a recce a day or couple days before the event to see what the location looks like, to see what the lighting looks like, to see what the distance looks like between each location, to give us a proper idea in our pre-production so that come production day we already know what to do and when to do it. For this particular project, we executed it with a 3-man team. I was on photography for this event, Israel was on videography for this event, and Timothy was on the BTS and also the video editor for this particular event. For the photography setup, I kept it light because, again, this is a corporate event. It was not too big and we didn't want to be overwhelming, so I was using one camera body with a 16-35. The camera body was a Canon R6 Mark II, and I was pairing that nicely with the 85mm f1.8, both Canon lenses. I typically like to use the 16-35 because when you pair that combination of a full frame camera with an ultra wide lens, you can get really wide shots from like really short distances. So I can get a shot of the entire room with everybody in the space. I can get wide group shot of dignitaries without having to back up too far. And on that same camera body, I was alternating with the 85mm, and I always use the 85mm for single person portrait. So if somebody's speaking on the podium, that's the lens I'm going to go to. If I want to get somebody's reaction in the audience, but I don't want to get too close to them so it doesn't get uncomfortable, 85mm is where I go to. So typically I use it for like portrait at events, and it's so out of your face, you don't feel self-conscious. Also, when people are networking, having a lens that can help you stay far away but still get close-up shots is always a good idea.
For this event, the videography setup was the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K with the Sigma 17-50mm f2.8. We're using the Giant Crane 2S to help give us smooth shots, and we paired the Desview A5 Pro monitor with it. Now, because we did pre-production and we checked out the hall where the dignitaries were going to be, giving their speeches, making their presentation, we realized that the lighting in the hall was not enough. So the lights we took on the day of production were the Xion models B300. We had one Sutuphoto P230 and we had two Sutuphotos P160. So we had the P160s to the side, we had the 230 dead center, and then we put the 300 in front to illuminate the people sitting in the hall when we're getting reaction shots from the crowd. They also set up a registration area, and the illumination there wasn't great also. So when we needed to take the shots of people registering, like when they were coming in, we had to take two lights from the hall. We took the 160 and the 230 to that location to help bring up the illumination. And when you make sure that your set is lit properly, your videos come out sharp and crisp, and they're looking nice.
When we got to the outdoor space, we switched up the team. Israel was on photography, Timothy took over the video, and I was on the drone to get some aerial shots that we're going to use as establishing shots or as cutaways for the actual commissioning.
At the location of the microplant, we had to only add an ND filter to the camera. So it's just like sun shades for our camera so that we keep the exposure proper. After the ribbon cutting, we took a couple of interviews to tie the story together. We did a few of those handheld, and then later we brought in a tripod to lock off the shot, and everything went smooth and nice.
For this project, we had a couple deliverables. We had a highlight video and standalone interview videos of the dignitaries or the guests that came to speak at the event. We made sure that we did our due diligence before the day, making sure we got all the references and every plan that we needed to execute so that the videos could come out really, really nicely. We recorded the audio on the day, so that was where we pulled out most of the underlying audio for the edits so that it could drive and tell the story of the wonderful commissioning of the microplant that happened in the University of Lagos. So because we do a lot of corporate videos, it can get pretty boring very quickly. So we wanted to make sure that what we did was pretty exciting but not distracting at all. Just something really subtle, cool, but fun and visually appealing. I personally tried out a couple of techniques that I had not done before. For instance, the text at the beginning of the video that was tracked to the gate of Unilag. and then some other, subtle effects here and there that I thought were really cool and made the video just a little bit more exciting and not just plain and boring. I had so much fun working on this, and the highlight video was fire.
Another thing that was re-emphasized for us on this particular project is the importance of pre-production, because we had a very clear order of events that was going to happen on that day. We already knew what was going to happen and when it was going to happen. For instance, the location where the microplant was different from where the speeches and the address happened. And because we knew that right after the address was given, they were going to move to where the microplant was. In this particular case, immediately speeches were done, the French consular got into his vehicle, drove straight to the microplant location. But because we knew, we already went ahead of them, and immediately it got to the location, it went straight to the ribbon cutting, and we would have missed that shot if we were waiting to be told what was going to happen next. But because we already knew, we were positioned, and just at the nick of time, we were able to get it. These are shots that you can never do again, especially when you're working with dignitaries like this. They move so fast, they move so quick. You cannot tell them to pause, you cannot tell them to wait. So you have to know what's going to happen before it happens, and you have to position yourself so that you don't miss shots that cannot be replicated. Anyways, we had so much fun documenting this. It was a wonderful time. They are great people. We work with them on multiple projects, and they love the project. They're happy with it. We are happy with it as well, and we'll be happy to document your event as well. Be it a big event, small event, medium-sized event, we are well set for you. So if you want something like this for your event, or you want your event documented, kindly send us a DM, and we'll be happy to document your event.